First impressions are crucial. That means from the moment you walk into an interview room, you'll be assessed. Were you smiling? Did you greet the interviewers? Did you appear confident? And yes, were you dressed appropriately? In today's video, I'm going to tell you what to wear to your medical school interviews to ensure that you're dressed appropriately and leave a lasting first impression. Hi, I'm Nadine Evans with BeMo Academic Consulting. Be sure to subscribe on whatever social media channel you're watching this from now so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. If you want us to help you ace your medical school interview, go to BeMo.blog to schedule your free initial consultation. Studies have shown that the initial impressions formed within the first few seconds of meeting the interviewer can set the tone for the rest of the interview. Your overall appearance and hygiene are among the first things an interviewer will notice. Because of this, it's essential that you present yourself professionally because you want to be remembered for your friendly personality, sharp intellect, and strong interview responses, not for your potentially unfortunate sense of fashion. Let's go over some general rules to follow when choosing your clothing that you're going to wear to your medical school interview. I'll get into some specifics for male and female attire later on. The first general rule is to wear neutral tones. Colors like gray, navy blue, black, or cream are best, with soft complementary colors or white for foundation pieces, so a shirt under a blazer, for example. Natural fibers are ideal, but they're not mandatory. Just ensure that the fabric breathes enough that it keeps you comfortable if the interview room is a little bit warm, but it's also substantial enough that you'll be comfortable if the room is a bit cool. For ladies, be sure that you keep makeup or accessories to a minimum. If you choose to wear makeup, it should be understated. So think of polishing your natural features rather than creating a more striking or glamorous look. Shoes should generally be black or brown, complementing your clothing, and most importantly, your shoes must be comfortable. You're likely going to be on your feet for quite a while on your interview day, so avoid considerably high heels or shoes that haven't been broken in yet. If you choose to wear jewelry or other accessories, again, these should be minimal, understated, and complementary to your look rather than standing out as statement pieces. If you have visible facial piercings, you could either take them out or you could invest in an invisible retainer if you plan on keeping them in. In terms of hair, if it's longer, it can be pulled back or left down at your preference, as long as it's clean, neat, and professional. Your hair shouldn't obscure your face, and pulling longer hair at least partially back will keep you from absent-mindedly touching it during the interview, which is a common gesture indicating nervousness, self-consciousness, or anxiety. Finally, you may want to get a haircut in advance of your interview. Be sure to schedule this a couple days ahead of time if it's more than just a trim. We also tend to frequently and unconsciously touch our hair after the first day or two after it's been cut, especially if it's a new style. So making sure you get those haircuts early on is a good idea. Remember, touching your hair and fidgeting is a sign of discomfort or nervousness, so it's best to avoid these conditions that can make you more likely to take part in these nervous behaviors. If your hair is short, then it should also be clean, tidy, and professional. If you regularly keep your hair short, a haircut a day or two before the interview is likely fine if you're just getting a trim or a touch-up. Again, if you're planning on making any significant changes to your style or length, make sure you give yourself some time to adjust so that you don't touch it during the interview. Now let's talk about scent. Make sure you're aware that it's now common for most workplaces to have scent-free policies in place, and this includes universities. So because of this, you should avoid perfumes, colognes, or heavily scented lotions or aftershave on interview day, which includes things like shampoo and conditioner, soap and body wash, and any hair products. Before your interview, check your products to see if they're too heavily scented, and if so, it's best to use non-scented products for your interview. Giving the interviewer an allergic reaction would not make for a great first impression. And even if no one has allergies, our sense of smell is really sensitive, and strong smells can be really distracting from what the main attraction should be, which is you. Hygiene is also extremely important, especially on interview day. So make sure that you have bathed or showered the morning of the interview or the night before if that's what you prefer. Your skin and hair should be clean, and you should wear deodorant. If you can't use or don't use antiperspirant deodorant, there are pads that could be worn under your clothing to help minimize the appearance of sweat. Even in ideal climate conditions, most of us sweat when we're stressed, so make sure that you're prepared and that you look fresh and put together throughout the day. A little tip for you guys, if you get sweaty or clammy hands when you're nervous, you can try running cold water over your hands and drying them thoroughly just before entering the interview room. This is usually enough to help keep clamminess at bay for several minutes. As well, you can consider keeping a tissue, a handkerchief, or a piece of fabric in your pocket so that you can discreetly dab your palms before you're shaking someone's hands and getting them all sweaty. Okay, so let's get into what you should wear to your medical school interview. First, I'll discuss feminine attire. This can generally consist of a skirt or a pantsuit in neutral colors such as gray, navy blue, or black. A white or pastel or soft-colored button-down or pullover blouse under the blazer is also ideal. If you choose to wear a skirt suit, just ensure that the skirt comes down to at least the top of your knees and that it rises no more than 2 to 3 inches above the knee while you're in a seated position. So yes, that means you need to sit down and check out your outfit to make sure that it's comfortable and to check to see if it's not riding up too much. Neutral tone stockings are a good idea, and coordinating with dark colored closed-toe shoes that are comfortable will be a good idea for making your entire outfit put together. You'll likely be walking around a lot on your interview day, and you don't want to be worrying about pain or blisters, so again, just be sure that whatever shoes you pick are comfortable and they're already tried and tested. If you wear makeup, be conservative in your makeup application. Aim for a neutral, everyday look rather than some sort of look that's great for a night out on the town. I also want to mention that your interview day is not the day to be experimenting with new or dramatic makeup techniques. So put away that smoky eye tutorial video and stick to the tried and true looks that are gently polished and accentuate your features. As I mentioned earlier, if you wear jewelry, just keep it understated and make sure it's something that complements your overall look. So small stud earrings are appropriate as opposed to big, large hoops. In terms of fabrics, natural material is preferable, but always just make sure it's understated and not overly flashy. And now for the men. Attire should consist of a fitted gray, navy, or black suit with a white button-up shirt and a simple silk or silk-like tie. This should be paired with coordinating dark-colored dress socks and shoes. Make sure that your shoes are clean, comfortable, and polished, removing any scuff marks or dullness if need be. Jewelry other than watches and wedding rings should be kept to a minimum, and any jewelry that you do wear should be understated and complimentary, not something that stands out or is overly flashy. You should be clean shaven or have neatly groomed facial hair and a fresh haircut. Also, make sure that your fingernails are neat and trimmed, and consider using some unscented hand lotion in the morning if you generally have rough skin, because you're going to be shaking a lot of hands, so hand grooming is definitely something you need to take into consideration. Okay, so hopefully you're feeling a lot more confident in what you should wear in your medical school interviews. Please subscribe, like, and leave a comment if you have any questions that we can help you with. If you'd like us to help you prepare for your upcoming interview, go to BeMo.blog to schedule your free initial consultation. Thanks for watching. See you next time.